back on the Vicky Gotti show, you guys, and we're back with an exclusive with Miss Shawn. She's gonna tell her testimony in raising a homosexual child, because I know, and you see it on the news and across America, parents and the family don't accept it. People have been kicked out their homes. People have been in adoptions. People been doing, had to leave to live on their own and find escort and prostitution. They had to sleep on people's floors. Like, just a mess. So let's talk about it, Miss Shawn. And how did you deal with and cope with your child being gay? And when did you find out? Let's talk about the childhood first.
First, I want to say this. For all the scenarios you just brought up, it is the most saddest thing to my heart to even know. But I know it exists, and I know it happens. It's hurtful. It's very hurtful to, for people to treat their children like so. It's hurtful.
Very hurtful. So, let's talk, Miss Shawn, about it. What age was it where people started discussing it, chatting behind your back, the school teasing, the family members asking questions?
When he was about 7 or 8 years old, people were saying, he's gay and he does girl things and everything. At the time, I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to accept it. I didn't want to believe it. I just did not. I didn't know how to handle such a situation. So it was kind of scary for a young girl.
Well, you ended now?
Yes and no.
Mm-hmm. But they say, Miss Shawn, that a woman intuition knows. And they always say the mother always knows.
I end up knowing. I end up knowing. Yeah, I did. But I still had my moments. It took some years and some in between times where it was kind of hard. But at the same time, I like the fact the way God molded to accept it. I love the work that he put inside of me to embrace my child for who he was. Not for who I wanted him to be, for who he was.
Now let's talk about some situations that happened during that childhood period. What is one of the things that just blew your mind? And I think it was a situation about someone calling the house. Let's talk about that.
Yes. Well, I'm at home one night and the phone rang. It was kind of between, I don't know why this is standing out to me. I kind of remember the times between 9:30 and 10 o'clock. And the phone rang, and I answered it. Because I hadn't been on the phone. I was laying in there watching TV, but I answered the phone like, who calling my house this late? And knowing that I had to get up and go to work. And I picked up the phone. The young man says, hi, you have a son named B? And I go, yes. And he says, well, he's on the phone playing games on my phone. You might need to check your son because he's playing like a girl. And I go, what? So I said, okay, thank you. I appreciate you calling. So I got up and I went into B's room and I said, B, are you on the phone playing like a girl? What's going on? What's going on, Brian? Are you gay? What? Tell me. Let's talk about it. Tell me. But he didn't own up to it, but he didn't deny it. So I backed down because you don't want to be cornered. If a person back a person up in a corner, all they're going to do is fight their way out. I didn't want him to feel like that. So I backed down. I went into my room and I just prayed and just gave it to God. And life just kept moving on. And as he was getting older, I say by 16, it was for show.
Did he ever come and say, Mom, I'm gay?
No. Even to this day. Even though I know and we accept it, no, it is what it is. He never just came out and said, Mom, I'm gay. I was talking to a coworker at work, Inga, and I said, Inga, Ryan, I just don't know. I don't, I'm scared. I'm scared of what the world think or do. But I'm really coming into knowing that who he was going to be.
Right.
And she was like, I said, I'm going to take him and me and his brother to see a psychiatrist. And so I did. And we went to family counseling about it.
How was some of the sessions?
Well, when we were all together, he would never say what it was or what it wasn't. He just would never say. He stayed in his own little private section with him and the doctor, and then me and his brother, But when the doctor and me had our private sessions together, he says, I wish that, and at this time he was going to a lot of penitentiaries and stuff, and he would see, a lot of young men.
Who was he, B?
No, the doctor.
The doctor, okay.
He said, because he'd go to the prisons and teach and minister to them and everything. He said, I bet if the world would be a lot more smoother and more accepting to their children like you are. There wouldn't be no suicide. There wouldn't be no mislove or anything like that. He says, I commend you for embracing, your child. And, but give him a chance, Mom. Give him a chance to tell you what it is. Don't keep trying to force it out of him. And I received it and I did it. I allowed it to work it out. And then that goes back to where God molds you.
Mm-hmm. Were you ever one of the mothers, people do this nowadays, about, you just be saying, son, just wrap it up. And I don't want you getting, I'm scared about the HIV. Because people think that's academic, but just for gay people, not knowing their homework, doing their research, they know it could be it's heterosexual now to download people with all that. Have you ever been one of those types like you just always feared that? Because a lot of people seem like that would be the first thing they fear.
And it is. But it's just not for just gay people. It's for women like me that's single. I don't want no brother and he's a down low brother. Yes, I do tell my son to protect himself. Everybody should protect himself. Get with your partner, make them go and take testing for it and everything. You're going to have to show me on black and white. I'm going to need to know you go to the health department. You can pass,
Right.
Because I don't want you to shorten my life with your poor choices.
Mm-hmm.
Those are your choices. But don't shorten mine because that's not fair.
Right.
Don't be so angry to ruin other people's lives. That's the sad thing.
I want to ask you this too. Do you think, I think we talked about, I want to ask you about, do you think this is the type of thing homosexuals are born with?
Yes. Because I know for sure that nothing was ever done to my son. Nothing was ever done to him. I asked God, well, why did it happen? But then I stopped asking God for that too, because at the end of the day, I still love him. I love my son. He's a good man. I'm going to still be the mother that I'm going to be to him. I raised him to be respectable, lovable, and responsible. Be responsible.
How did the brothers and sisters feel about it? And was there ever a time when they cursed and teased him or said anything, negative about his sexuality?
Yes, my youngest son went through this episode where his friends or peers found out that his brother was gay. Mm-hmm. And he was arguing with him and everything, and he called him a faggot. I was laying there and I was like, what? So I jumped up. I said, let me tell you something. In this house, we don't say that. At the end of the day, that whatever his choice may be, that's your brother. You will respect that. And as far as the outside world, they have nothing to do with what goes on in this household. In this household, we are a team. We unity. We as one. Now, the outside world, they may not like what go on in this house, but they can't run it. It is what it is. So that never came up again, or
That was it. You nipped it in the bud straight.
straight nip that in the bud. Ain't going out. And I wish somebody would come in my house and disrespect my child.
Right. Do you accept gay marriage?
No, I don't. But I do accept unity.
Why you don't accept gay marriage? Why can't we have the piece of paper and get half of everything?
Now, mind you not, one of my favorite celebrities is Ellen. I love Ellen. I love her to death. I love Ellen. I love Ellen's wife or her mate. I don't agree on the matrimony because I'm a Christian. And, I don't want to seem like I'm contradicting myself because how I view life and how I do things is just for me. It's not for everybody. You might not agree. You may think I'm contradicting, but that's on you because what I'm doing is working for me.
Right.
Okay. And I'm very outspoken about it too.
So, if you don't believe in a marriage, I guess I'm gonna have to go that you don't believe in adoption kids, and if you don't.
Wait a minute. Let me tell you about my son. My son never brought a lot of people. My son didn't even bring nobody around me. And when he did bring somebody around me, it was his choice of what he wanted. And he picks quality, not a mess or trash, as some people would say. Maybe I could find a better choice word. But, no, it is what it is. And so when he did bring somebody home, I embraced him because he's so lovable. I love him to death, and I took him as my own, So, and that speaks, value about myself because most people would be like, no, you can't bring nobody home and nothing. No, my son gotta live his life to the fullest.
Kids, that's why I asked you what the whole kids thing.
Well, the kids, if they want to adopt kids, I'm gonna love it like it's my grandchild. I know I'm not gonna have none biologically from him, but I got a son that's gonna give me plenty. God knows. I'm a little scared about that, but I know it is what it is.
Now we talked about this. I want to know something about you having, Brian's dad not passionate, basically the whole situation. But I think he was also mad with you for being around transsexuals and gay people and all that. Let's talk about that experience. When you used to model, I believe, right?
I was modeling, and he was very much against it. He didn't like it at all, and I sometimes would think at the early beginning of Brian recognizing that Brian was going to be who he was because he cursed our child, with that plague of being gay because he hated it so much and he despised me from going around him and everything. But see, I'm not like that. I embrace people for who they are. Like you shouldn't read a book, but that goes to saying to where you cannot read a book by its cover. You have to read the book. You just can't just read the front and the back and say, "Oh, I know about it." You don't know that person. You don't know what that person's like. But yeah, he had a very big problem with it, but that was on him. That didn't have anything to do with me, and I didn't allow his beliefs or how he felt should change me. That's not how I am. My family, I was blessed because my family was, wow.
They was really big supporters.
Wow. When I pray and thank God, I thank God for all that because my family, they embraced Brian for who he is and what he become. And how, I'm going to tell you a story more. My grandmother is 90 years old. Hey, Granny. My grandmother had 12 girls and 1 boy. She kept it real. I know that's a whole nother story. But recently, Bryant went and spent time with grandma, and he goes to tell her, I don't know how the subject came about because I wasn't there, but I just laughed because when he told me about it. He says, Granny, well, I like boys, and I'm gay and everything. And he says, my granny was sitting there, she was listening and everything, and she paused a minute and she says, well, baby, it's one in every family. It don't matter. Just be happy. Now, my 90-year-old grandma said that. So I knew the way I raised him and the way I feel about him and the way I embrace his lifestyle and the people that are around me and in the world, I knew I was on the right track because my grandmother's the most lovable woman in the world.
Right. That's nice.
She is. She really is. She embraces everybody. We are a pretty close-knit family, so, But it was funny because she really didn't know. Then when she found out, she was like, baby.
What is some tips and some advice that you can give because to the parents or somebody's watching a gay guy that's going through this with his family? What advice would you can give?
First, go get your mother, your father, whomever, to come look at this video. And let me tell them, please, embrace your children. Love them for who they are. Because you are going to shorten yourself on your blessings. It's not so much I can understand don't nobody want no flamboyant, what they call those, voguing.
Mm-hmm. Voguing, I understand what voguing is.
They don't want that, But like I would tell my son, like, you a man, you gonna die, man. What your preference is, that's your business. That's what you and the Lord have to deal with. But be who you gonna be and be proud of who you are and let nobody in this world tell you anything different. Because at the end of the day, if don't nobody else love my son, I do.
And that's our time, folks. If you want any questions from Ms. Sean, I want her back here to give you some more one-on-one exclusive lessons. She will be back. Share this video, like this video, subscribe to this channel, you guys. And this is Ms. Sean letting you know her testimony, her story.
Shout out to Inga. Holla at me, girl.